IPMNation.com.
It's an all-new day, an all-new mission, an all-new opportunity to bring your own bold, an all-new you. And it's an all-new season, all-natural being with Brian Brawdy. And now, here's Brian.
Welcome to All Natural Being. I'm Brian Brawdy, and I got to tell you, a little, even with the I think Matt told me the other day, 150 pre-tumor, pre-surgery shows under my belt, my pulse quickened a little bit. I have to tell you, I'm excited about the opportunity to launch kind of like the soft version. I'll get into what we'll be doing next week and all the cool guests and everything that we're going to have going on. But tonight, I just wanted to kick the tires a little bit, check and see. As you know, my favorite saying, you can't spell Brian without the I in idiot. So if you've been following all this time on the show, I've gotten no smarter. No, not really. And if I do say something that could be construed as smart, maybe like intelligent throughout the show, that's the shunt. The brain shunt talking. And I also want to get to the hydrocephalus walk, which we're going to do a bit later. But I also wanted to make mention of the fact, and I'm very excited about this, I want to thank the folks at PowerfulLiving.com, our friends from PowerfulLiving.com. The show brought to you by the sun, the wind, and PowerfulLiving.com. And you're probably saying to yourself, oh, how could that be? How is that? Well, because of the wind turbines and let me check it on this side, make sure I'm saying it right. Because of the wind turbines and the Smart Wind 300 wind turbine and the solar generators and the like, our show is being powered by the natural energies of the sun and the wind. So that's why I'm fired up, because a lot of people say, oh, what have you been doing since the green RV? What are you doing? What are you doing to lessen your footprint? That kind of stuff. So we're bringing you the show. And next week, it's going to be the audio right here on IPM Nation. But also, we're going to be broadcasting live. My good friend, you'll get a chance to meet him next week, Dave Fisher, is going to be on board, and we'll be broadcasting the video from here in the Outpost, our new studio. We'll be broadcasting the video to our Brian Brawdy official page over on Facebook. So if you really needed proof that I have a face for radio, apparently we're going to arm you with that evidence next week by doing a live, I don't want to call it television because it's really not television, but a video version of our show. So I wanted to kind of hop into what I've been up against of late. I have a new best friend. I want to thank the people from Road ID, because apparently, given my affliction, I am now prone to, I'm just like forgetting who I am. So, and I have a theory, if anyone's interested. Last time, my last major attack of amnesia landed me in the hospital for 24 hours. But you know what I was doing? And this is a cautionary tale for people listening. I volunteered to vacuum the whole house. Yeah, that's right. I vacuumed. 20 minutes later, sitting in the corner, drooling, didn't know who I was. So I have a nice little bracelet now. Again, a Road ID bracelet. So if I'm out and about, or if I'm subject to have to do any more cleaning around the house, wink, wink, nod, nod. If I'm out and about and I forget who I am, my brain goes kerflooey. I have a little bracelet that says, hey, here's where you can return Brian to. So that's cool, right? You never can tell. If you've been following me at all, or if we're friends, and I hope we are, I've said for years, if you don't know you're crazy, then crazy's a great gig, because you don't know you're nuts. You're mashugana. So now for me, I truly do, and I know this is going to sound cliche, I live every day like it's my last, Because I don't know. They don't know what the triggers are. They don't know this trans-global amnesia. All the guys running around with stethoscopes and white coats. The trans-global amnesia that I'm subject to. One, they don't know what triggers it. And they don't know when it will come back. So I get up in the morning going, hey, I think I remember who I am. But what was so wild about it, and I promised a bunch of my friends that are listening that I would talk about it tonight. What was so wild about it was that apparently I still functioned. Well, you know, I may have taken a shower, but I got fully dressed. I was moving around the house. I was doing this and that, but no clue other than just the normal movement of the human body. I had no clue where I was, what I was up against. I had no clue that I had even had 3 brain surgeries in the last, at that point, it was 6 or 7 months. So what's fascinating to me is some part, and maybe you know about this, some part of our brain can decide to check out whenever it wants. And, you know, we've talked for a couple of years now, 150 some odd episodes at least, about how I believe human beings suffer amnesia. If you're sad, if you're down, if you're not successful, if you're not fulfilled in your life, you've simply forgotten who you are. But, right, oddities of oddities, wink, wink, as I said, nod, nod, I ended up with amnesia. Totally void of any understanding of who I really was. So again, as cliche as it is, I live every day like it's my last, and I do. Because I don't know when my brain is going to decide to tap out again. Now, my closest friends, some of my family, I start picturing you all, my friends over here on Facebook, are going, yeah, well, that's a voice that we could use to tap out from time to time. But honest to goodness, 24, what was it? I was in the hospital for 24 hours, but like 8 hours later, I'm like, why are these IVs in my arms? Why am I lying here? I had no clue where I was. Nada. Zip. Zilch. So that's been fun. I also promised that I would talk a little bit about what it's like to try to ramp back up, having had, as you remember, a golf ball-sized brain tumor removed. And, you know, they don't want you to run. They don't want you to bike. They don't want you to do all these things. So I have a pretty strict regimen because, you know me, I run and I bike and I do everything they tell me that I shouldn't. So I've had to kind of watch my diet. I've had to kind of watch some of the things that I love, right? I had to give up, and I know, hold on, I had to give up beer. I can't drink beer. It's something about the carbohydrates, the barley, the hops. Oh, don't forget the amnesia. But apparently I can remember everything but the word barley. The barley, the hops, doesn't sit well with what's going on. So I had to give that up. But one of the things, and I want to make mention of this, especially in case you may not be aware of how important it is to be a friend to your own immune system. I found this ebook. It's at BioPro+500.com. It's a free ebook if you want to go over there and sign up for it. But it gives you all the things that you need to do to be your immune system's new best friend. Because I think for me, maybe not for you, maybe for you, I don't know, but at least for me, here I am moving along and I just thought, oh, this is me. But apparently I have 2 minds. So what else in my body could work independently of my conscious mind? Well, my immune system was one. So I started studying everything that I could, and I downloaded this ebook myself at BioPro+500.com because I really needed to learn what it was that was causing my immune system, right? Because you could say, oh, how'd you get the tumor? Well, because my immune system was compromised in some way. So I really wanted to find a way back to the ability. Remember, I went for, what was coming up on a year now, I went for a 15-mile run. Thought I did pretty good. It was in the hills, the valleys and hills of Cuyahoga National Park, just outside Cleveland. Had a really good time. I was proud of myself, so I thought I'd stop and get a cannoli and I couldn't taste the cannoli. The tumor had attacked the nerves in my tongue. Yeah, it's a golf ball, right? I guess it could do it what it wants when it rattles around inside your cerebellum. But the bottom line through all of that is that my immune system somehow let this tumor in, or the beginnings of the tumor, and it grew inside of me. So the more I started to read, and I started to read the stories about, there's a bioidentical protein in our bodies that up until the age of 40, your body's like, okay, groovy. It's produced in the thymus gland. We'll take it from here. But then what happens, when we reach a certain age, our body starts cutting out the production. Right? So all these things that we're relying on, the proteins that we rely on to boost our immune system, to kind of stand up and square your shoulders to the pathogens that are everywhere around us. I needed to be able to do whatever I could to help my immune system. So I looked into this BioPro Plus, and you'll see it when you go to the website. You'll see how I was able to use it, and I use it now as a part of my regimen to make sure that I'm doing everything I can to help my immune system beat back this tumor a second time. I don't want to be 30, which makes me carry the 6. I'll be somewhere in my 90s. I don't want another golf ball-sized brain tumor rolling around. So I needed to do, and I still need to do what I can to make sure that my immune system is where it needs to be. So go over to BioPro Plus 500, the number 500.com. Download your free ebook. We'll start to read up about it. And then at the end of the show, I've got another address for you that you can check out that pertains to. So if you think that's something that you want to do, then most certainly I'll give you a link for that. I think they're giving us some a really cool deal if listeners of the show or tune in, and I'll give you that towards the end. So I want to talk briefly about where I'm going to be this weekend. It's the Hydrocephalus Walk. I'm going to be back in Chicago, down at Soldier Field. If you're listening and you're in that neck of the woods and you want to join us, here's what happened. I got out of the hospital in a severe amount of pain. Abdominal pain, because they put a garden hose in me, right? Tap into your brain, run this thing down behind your ear, down your stomach. I was in just an inordinate amount of pain. And a friend of mine, Bob, turned me on to someone that had been going through something similar, and she was really nice, really very gracious of her to call me. And I don't want to say her name because I don't want to out her if she's not, But it's very nice of her to call me and go, no, Bri, look, this is going to hurt for a while. It's going to be excruciating for a while. You're just going to have to, no pun intended, you're going to have to gut through it. So I remember hanging up from the phone call, just getting ready to hang up, and I said, look, if there's ever anything I can do for you, let me know, would you? She goes, sure, I will. And about a month later, get a call back. The young lady says, oh, I'm heading up the Hydrocephalus Association, and the walk that they have to help raise awareness and money for research into this hydrocephalus, because everyone with hydrocephalus needs a shunt. Now, I don't have hydrocephalus, but my brain just kept leaking spinal fluid, so they put this shunt into me, and as you know, buried it down to my peritoneum. So she says, would you come and be the MC? Would you come and hang out? Would you come and just be you on stage? Talk to other kids, talk to other people. Other kids, right? Freudian slip. Talk to other people about what it's like to get through the day. I would love to, because there's some people, I've been studying this, guys and girls. I don't want any mansplaining. In case Sue is listening, I'm sitting up straight. You'll see next week on video. There's some people that go through 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 brain surgeries because these garden hose, these shunts, apparently aren't the greatest thing in the world. They malfunction from time to time. So I was really torn because I've been pretty lucky. I've had 3 brain surgeries. I'll be meeting people this weekend at Soldier Field in Chicago that have had 50 brain surgeries. And who am I to address them about what it means to have grit and agility and strength and square your shoulders no matter what fate, the relentless hunter that it is, no matter what fate deals you. So it caused me to do a lot of thinking. And I know that we teased yesterday that we had a big announcement coming, and I teased a little while ago, well, it was nice while it lasted. So we're going to get to that announcement here in just a minute. But I got a lot of people to kind of explain some things to. Oh, also, I should tell you, sorry. You can send me a message, a Facebook message over at Brian Brawdy Official. Brian Brawdy Official. If you're listening and you want to send me a message, go right ahead. I'm still learning the ropes. Apparently, you can send me, let me see if I click on this right here. Hold on, please. You can send me some questions over at one of our pages, too, I think. So if you get a chance, send me a question, and I'll go ahead and respond here in the show. So here's what I've decided. Even though we have a huge following, even though you can get us on iTunes and get us all over the place, I really have come to a rock in a hard place. Because, to be honest, and I don't mean this at anyone else other than me, I really am a cyborg. I have a garden hose in me. And as I thought about the people that I was getting ready to hang out with this weekend, there's really nothing that I can do to change the fact that, one, who knows when my brain is going to go kerflooey again, and two, I'm always going to have this garden hose. I'm always going to have a brain shunt. I'm always going to have something other than what I thought was an all-natural body. Now, I've been going over this for 2 or 3 days now, and people are saying, oh, well, you're still all-natural and this and that, and just because you have a shunt implanted. But I just paced. I went for walks, and I couldn't shake it. I talked to Sue, the executive producer, yesterday, and I couldn't wrap my mind around continuing to do a show called All Natural Being when I was far from all natural myself. So I did a good bit of soul searching. I did a good bit of writing and reading, and I went for a bike ride, right? So, and I lifted more than a gallon of water, and came up with the understanding that I was going to change the name of the show. Now, in a little bit, I think we're going to put a call into Matt Connerton over at IPM Nation. He's going to come on the show so I can explain in person, because there's a lot of things that have to go to make this happen. Right? We put a lot of energy and effort into All Natural Being, all the printed collateral, all the ads, all the things that the good folks at IPMNation.com have done. Even the sponsors. I'm going to have to call the sponsors and say, look, sorry guys, All Natural Being. Who knows what Apple's going to say, right? Dave, when it comes time to go over and say, ooh, we need to change the name of the podcast now, Apple's probably going to put a big screeching halt to that. So I'll end up being like Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince. Well, this is going to be a show formerly known as All Natural Being. So I thought about it. What was I going to say this weekend? On stage, all these people that have had a shunt, some of them probably a lot longer than I have. What am I going to say to them? And then it hit me. The name of the show that we're going to switch All Natural Being to, the name of the show is going to be Avidly You. Because when I stand there this weekend, I will remain avidly a fan of the people that I'm hanging with. I will remain, when I leave Soldier Field Saturday, I will always remain avidly you. I've said in the past that I have your back even when you don't. Even in those times where you have a blind spot, where you have amnesia, where you forget what you're ultimately capable of. I've got your back even when you don't. I remain avidly you. And I think yesterday was the eclipse? I don't know. I don't know. But I will tell you, it was like the sun coming out from behind the moon. When I hit on Avidly You, and I knew I was going to have to tell my wife. I knew I was going to have to tell my business partners. I knew I was going to have to tell everyone around me. All the people that work so hard to get All Natural being where it needs to be. I was going to have to tell them that we're changing the name of the show because I wanted to be honest. I wanted to be congruent. There's really not a whole lot all natural about me. Now, we can still rely on our natural resources. You remember, I call it our gas, our grit, our agility, our strength. We can rely on those natural resources. But for me, in order to be congruent, in order to really be honest, when I looked in the mirror, I knew that the name of the show would have to change, and that it would become what I always am, and that's a fan of yours, a fan of what a human mind can ultimately do when it forgets all the hocus pocus. We've talked at length. I won't go back into it now. We'll save it for a future show. But I've talked about the motivation industrial complex. I've talked about self-help industry tactics, self-help industry tacticians. Wait for the acronym to sink in. Outside of all that malarkey, outside of all the different things that we do to hijack who we are every day, I still remain avidly you. I'm in support of the you that sits behind the blind spots. The you that sits just outside the reach of your amnesia. Maybe a better way to put it, that sits just inside the reach of your amnesia. And we go through it. We forget who we are. But this show is going to be reminding you, this company is going to be about reminding you at those times. And that's why I'm saying your confidence and your courage are about to make a huge comeback. Because for the people that I get emails from that are lonely, that don't feel happy, that don't feel successful, that don't feel fulfilled with life, I got to tell you, I sat in a corner not remembering who I was. And it was scary. It was scary for the people around me. And you know who you are, and I apologize that you were scared. But I remain avidly you. And that's what this show is going to be about. And we're going to do a weekly show. Pretty soon we're probably going to go to 5 nights a week. Pretty soon we're probably going to go to multiple hours. But the sole focus, no matter how big this show grows, the focus is going to remain you. For all those people that reach out to me. Lonely? Forgotten who you are. Unhappy? Just forgotten who you are. Temporary. Right? Just like my mind came back to me. Temporary. Feel unsuccessful. Feel blah. Feel run down. You've just forgotten who you are. And this show is going to be about reminding you who you ultimately are. Who you were outside of all the other craziness going on in your life. Outside of fate's ability. I like to think of us as, the team here is fate's nemesis. Because when you throw yourself in the labyrinth of life, when you throw yourself in the garden of the mortals, fate stalks you. It's a relentless hunter. It's a predator that never rests. So for you and me, we can decide right now to stand, to square our shoulders, and to let fate know it's picked on the wrong person. And that's what our show, that's what our company, that's what our broadcasts are going to be all about. So if you have someone that feels particularly down, that you have someone that feels lonely, if you have someone that doesn't feel like they're firing on all cylinders, let them know about where we're hanging out on Wednesday nights. because we're going to be here for those people, and we will remain Avidly You. All right, I got to start making some phone calls here, letting people know what we've decided. All right, hold on. We'll be right back. Hit this. All right, we're back. And I'm realizing now, all this time, that we were getting some other text in, as I've told you before. Remember. Amnesia. I forgot what I'm doing here. Would you think, really? You can't make it the opening 26 minutes without forgetting what you're doing? All right, let's see here. So, a couple questions that I wanted to answer real quick. Thank you very much. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for that very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the well wishes. Appreciate it. I really do. So here's what we're going to do. It's going to be time to call Matt, because I think with all the energy, all the effort, everything he's put in to getting All Natural being where it needed to be, I think it's only fair that we give him a holler. Dave, could you do me a favor? Could you just make sure that thing's hit that power button there real quick? I'm not getting a signal. Let him know what we've decided and how the course of the show is going to change. So we'll do that here in just a second. Also, this gives me the opportunity to let you know that next week, when we have the audio and the video, we're going to be interviewing Bo Arnold. She's the author of Mood, Food, and Gratitude. She'll be hanging out with us next week, so I'm pretty fired up about that. And then also, we're going to have on the show Misty Totsky, who's going to be talking, because when you think about it, I'm one big bag. I remain one big bag of pre-existing conditions. So what we're going to do is interview people in the alternative health. They call it alternative, but I don't understand. You know what I mean? I didn't have an alternative. But we're going to interview people that may be outside a little bit of mainstream medicine, and some of the things that I'm using to help, not just BioPro Plus, but some of the things that I'm using, some of the things that I'm doing, some of the things that I suggest we all could do. So Misty Totsky is going to be on next week. She'll be talking about that. And Bo Arnold, the author of a really cool book, Mood, Food, and Gratitude. Couple paragraphs in here of her book. I love the whole book, but I read that and I was like, oh, we absolutely have to talk to her. All right, so let's do this. Let me figure this out here. All right, so I'm going to go like this. Let's give Matt a call. I owe Matt a call. I owe him an explanation. Let's see if we can get Matt.
Hello.
Hey, Matt?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Brian Brawdy.
Yes, I can hear you. I've been listening. The show sounds great.
Oh, thank you, sir. Very much. So the cat's out of the bag. So,
yes.
All right. Well, I guess I should say thanks for taking my call. So you kind of heard what I was thinking, huh?
Oh, yes, yes.
All right. But let me just first apologize. Matt, because I know you and Jenny have done a ton of work on the collateral, on the website, on all of it. But I hope you can forgive me. I just can't, in good conscience, stick with the All Natural Being. But I'm all over saying, hey, the show formerly known as All Natural Being, now Avidly You. I thought I would give you a holler and just have you say, what are some of the hurdles I brought down around us because of that?
What are some of the? I'm having a little trouble hearing you, Brian. What are what?
That's okay. Some of the hurdles, some of the things that we're going to have to do now that we've decided to change the name.
There's going to have to be some editing done of promos, certainly. That's about it, really.
Okay, maybe we can change a little something on the homepage for IPM Nation.
Right.
What's it going to mean, Matt, when it comes to all the Apple broadcasts? When we have it set up so that it goes right to Apple iTunes. Is there going to be any hurdles there?
Hopefully not. I don't foresee anything.
Okay, very cool. Any other thoughts about it? About, now, midstream, 130 or 140 episodes into it, go ahead and change the name?
No, I mean, it makes sense, but I'm just glad that you're back on the air.
Well, thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, we did record all those promos, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah, and you do all the heavy lifting. I just speak into a microphone, but you're the one that has to do the editing and everything else. So I really do owe you an apology for changing it. But you see my point, Matt. I just couldn't, in good conscience, meet with these people this weekend and then move forward when I got a garden hose in my head and my stomach.
Right,
and my chest.
right.
Do you know what I mean? So I didn't feel congruent.
That. Absolutely. And that's going to be this weekend that you do that?
That's weekend. Right. Thank you again for reminding me. It's the Hydrocephalus Walk. It's at Soldier Field this weekend. I'll be there at 8:30, kicking it off. All kinds of people, all kinds of families involved in the walk to raise awareness and just really, Matt, I imagine just to hang out and kind of share some stories and let everybody else know, what they've been up against. And if they say that, adversity loves company, then I'm hoping we can, to hang out with some people and raise some money and draw awareness to hydrocephalus and what we can do to kind of combat them.
No, I wouldn't have even known there was an event for that, but that's amazing. No, that's a great opportunity.
Very cool. All right, Matt, I know you're busy. I'll let you go. I just wanted to – I didn't realize you were I guess I kind of let the cat out of the bag ahead of time. But thank you very much for all the understanding, and I really think it will be something that will just grow from this point on and be a good bit more powerful because, far be it from me to be a fan of fake news. Little truth in advertising. There's, I don't get the claim all natural anymore, especially sporting this shunt. But like I said, next week you'll see. I've always said I have a face for radio. We'll be able to prove it next week with some evidence. All right, Matt, thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate it. And by all means, tell Jenny we said hello, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, Brian. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, brother. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Matt Connerton from IPM Nation. Kind of let him know what I've been thinking about, what we're going to be doing, and why I decided to make the change that we did. Because I wanted it to be honest. I wanted it to be truthful. And I wanted to remind people that you can remain avidly you. I thought about, everyone, did you get special glasses? Did you get the special glasses for the eclipse? And I thought for most of us, most certainly for me, maybe for you, we suffer that eclipse every time we look in the mirror. Don't need special glasses for that. Every time we look in the mirror and we go, oh, who are we really? What are we ultimately capable of? I was going to do a post during the eclipse and go, show me your moon, right? But then I thought, that only will get me in trouble. Pictures all over. Instagram account will blow up. Everyone dropping their pants, show me their butt. But we have those things that block us from seeing the natural sun in our lives, that block us from seeing who we truly are, what we're ultimately capable of, wherever we are. I want to give a quick shout out to a friend of mine in Los Angeles, waiting on an airplane. Another friend of mine, I want to give a shout out, celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday. But think about it. Every time we stand in front of a mirror, we're guilty of that same kind of eclipse. And if you're not, God love you. I hope that's the case. But there are times when we look in the mirror and we have our own eclipse. We really do suffer from blind spots, from amnesia. We've talked before. Here in the garden of the mortals, the labyrinth of life, the ups, the downs, the lefts, the rights, the pivots, and the swerves, we keep moving. And that's why I remain avidly you. Because human beings, we have the ability to square our shoulders with fate and decide it's not going to derail our destiny. That no matter what it does, no matter what it's thrown at us, it would have been real easy. There's all kinds of people that think, oh, I still haven't. If you listen to how smooth the show has gone, maybe I agree. I still haven't fully recovered. But like you, I get up every day, get back in to the fray. Want to thank Bob. Want to thank Doug. Want to thank Jenny and Janice for sharing the link to the show. As I said earlier, if you know of people that say, I'm a little down, I'm a little lonely, I'm not all that successful, I'm not all that happy, give them the link. Have them tune in. Because our goal from this day moving forward is going to be reminding people who they ultimately are. I want to make mention, again, of the fact that this show is being brought to you from the natural powers of the sun, the wind, and our good friends at powerfulliving.com. Also, I want to make mention, I told you earlier that there was going to be a special offer for people that wanted to learn about how they could back up, how they could boost, how they could be their immune system's own best friend. How you could start to feel great again. I love the way I'm starting to recover. We talked a little bit about the bioavailable, the thymic proteins. That up until we're 40, immune system, Mother Nature goes, oh, I got this. Don't worry, I can take it from here. But after you reach 40, if you have, like me, your body says, nah, not so much, so we're going to stop producing that. So here's what you can do. If you want the ebook that'll talk about how you can be your immune system's own best friend, you can go over to BioPro Plus 500, the number 500.com. And then if you want to learn a little more about BioPro Plus and get your free ebook, learn how to rebuild your immune system, and they have a very special offer, what they call the BOGO offer for the Avidly You, formerly known as All Natural Being, the Avidly You audience. So make sure you duck on over there, bioproplus.com. They'll hook you up with that special offer. All right, again, thanks to everyone over on Facebook. Let's see some of the other comments coming in. I want to thank Sue. I want to thank Carlos. Don't forget, you can reach me. Send me a text. I guess what it is an instant message over at Brian Brawdy Official over on Facebook. We'll get the message. It'll come right through. Now, I'm also told, and I'm learning this. Let me just see if I go over here. I'm learning that we also have like a page. Let me see real quick if I can figure out. Because there's also a page where you can come. Let me go over there. Let me go over there. No, it's not there. A page where you can come and throw up some quotes or some questions or anything else. If you have anything you want to ask, give me a holler over there as well. I guess if you can go right in through ipmnation.com/A&B, if you're on our site and you see the player there, you can post your questions right there as well. We'll be right back. We're back. I want to make mention of the fact also, again, before I forget, you never can tell with me, that I'll be at Soldier Field this Saturday emceeing the Hydrocephalus Association, their Walk Chicago 2017. So if you're in the area, you can stop on by, meet some really cool people. I'm looking forward to meeting them as well and hanging out. That'll be this Saturday, which let me check the calendar real quick. What does that mean it is? Oh, this Saturday. It's the 26th of August, starting at 8:30. We'll kick it off at 8:30. A friend of mine, Bill, tells me that I think the Bears are playing later that afternoon. So we'll get in and get our stuff done and get ready for the Bears. I think it's a preseason game, he was telling me. And then also, don't forget, next week we're going to have the chance, when we kick off our live show, live in terms of Facebook Live, that is. In terms of the video, we'll be interviewing Bo Arnold, the author of Mood, Food, and Gratitude. And then we're also going to get an opportunity to hang out with a special guest, Misty Totsky. And she's going to talk to us about some oils. She was very nice when she found out that I was injured, that I had been knocked for a loop. She was very nice to send me some oils and some other things that I could use to help in terms of reducing the stress in my life and in terms of getting my immune system. One of the other things that I could do to get my immune system back up to snuff. So I'm really looking forward to learning from her. We'll learn together some of the cool things that she has. And as I said, Bo Arnold will be in the studio and be learning about a couple of different trains of thoughts that she has in her book. I'm really excited to have them there as well. Also, and I want to thank, I made mention of this earlier, the folks, and I got to write a little letter. I went ahead on Amazon and just picked up a Road ID bracelet, but it really has given me a certain aspect of my life back. I'm able to bike, I'm able to run, I'm able to do all these other things that I want to do out and away without constantly having to have a bodyguard, right? It is my bodyguard, because if you find me sitting anywhere, please look down at my my new bling of a bracelet and check out who I am. And there's a number on there that you can call and say, "Oh, we think we found Brian." At least that's what his name tag says. So I want to thank the people at Road ID. I'm going to write a little letter and go, "Hey, here's why this has become a staple of the things that I do." So, also, before we get ready to run, we've got about another 15 minutes left here in the show. I want to talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing in the future. In addition, I mentioned that Bo's going to be on for the book next week. I mentioned that Misty's going to be on to talk to us about some other cool stuff. But I wanted to interview, and we're calling it Brian's 100 Brains. And what that's going to be is I'm going to interview here on the show the 100 authors, producers of YouTube content, the 100 brains, if you will, that have been instrumental in helping me formulate my opinion not just of how to fight back from 3 brain surgeries in, I guess 60, 90 days, but authors that are just driven to share with us how we can get our confidence and our courage back. So I call them Brian's 100 brains. And to be honest with you, my brain could go on the fritz. It's out of whack. Could go on the blink. Out of kilter. I was surprised that Kerflooey, it's a real name. And because my head is gone a little haywire, and we don't really know when I could check out again, I thought, great, before I go bonkers next time, could I borrow your brain for 20 minutes? So I'm going to reach out to some pretty big names and say, hey, what are the top 3 things you think I should know so that I can rearm my own mind to face the challenges that I have in the future? And I think it's going to be really cool for you to eavesdrop, listen in on these conversations, because they might be some people, they might have some ideas, some things, so that your brain doesn't have to, you don't have to have a brain tumor. You don't have to, it doesn't have to go on the fritz like mine does, but we could still borrow some of their ideas. So I'm really excited about Brian's 100 Brains. And if you want to head over brianbrawdy.com, you probably use avidlyu.com. All Natural Being will still work, allnaturalbeing.com. Head over. We're redoing the website, right? Since I had to throw a wrench into those plans. Couldn't you tell Matt was just thrilled? He's like, Bri, really? We did all that recording? This epiphany couldn't have come to you a little while ago? So again, Matt, if you're listening, I apologize. But head on over to brianbrawdy.com, allnaturalbeing.com, avidlyu.com. Leave us your email address. We're going to launch next week. Next Wednesday night we'll launch, and we'll give you the information about Brian's 100 Brains. Some of the other things we're going to do. We're going to be doing a weekly webinar. That's one of the things we're going to be focusing on. So that if you want to come over. Now, it's not a webinar that sells you anything, right? I'm not going to get into the habit of going, oh, you need to sign up for this webinar. Oh, and just pay $19.95 for the webinar. And we're calling it Impeccably Human. But it's going to be a free weekly webinar where you can come in, nothing to be selling. Nothing to be, no snake oil to sell you. It's going to be free. Absolutely free. So if you head over, and I'm getting a text, don't send them to brianbrawdy.com. Well, we can still send them to brianbrawdy.com. Leave us an email, and then we'll email you back with all the different things. I love it. I just got a text. It's not up, remember? Oh, no, this time my brain is actually, I think it's working. Just leave us an email over at brianbrawdy.com. And we'll give you information about all of this. We're going to talk about Impeccably Human, the free webinar that we'll be doing every week to renew your rogue, to remind us of who we ultimately are. And then we'll be talking about A-list minds and innovating intellects, some of the other things that we've got going on. But head on over there now, brianbrawdy.com, avidlyu.com, and we'll fill you in with all the different things that we'll be up against in the weeks and months ahead. Also, another concept, and I'm pretty fired up about this one as well. When we talk about breakthrough mindfulness, there's a lot of, it's a catchphrase nowadays, especially in the motivation industrial complex, the self-help industry tacticians. Wait for the acronym to settle in. That have convinced you that there's something wrong, and only if you do what they suggest, then you're going to be cured. And my question has always been, what's wrong with you in the first place? So with breakthrough mindfulness, and we're going to be announcing, I'm very excited about this. Katzenberg is out there running around raising all kinds of money for a particular programming, and I don't want to give too much away, but we're going to be launching an app called Squeegee TV, where you, on your phone, it's like having portable Brian. On your phone, you're going to be able to get, right now, I think the title we're working on is 7 Minutes of Sanity, or your 7-minute sanity check, where you'll be able, in the in-between times, in between getting to the line at the grocery store and actually getting to the counter. In between signing in at your dentist office and actually getting to see the dentist. In between getting to the platform, waiting for the L to show up. In between, you're in the back of Uber, right? In between where you are and where you need to go, you'll be able to log on to squeegee.tv, and we'll give you a 7-minute sanity check. So we've got that. We'll be talking about that at brianbrawdy.com. Also, A-List Minds and Innovating Intellects. Those are going to be some of our private groups. But one of the things that I wanted to make certain right off the bat is that we have content that everyone will be able to access for free 24, 7 days a week, whenever you want it. And that's what Avidly You is going to be. So there's times when you're feeling a little lonely, you're feeling a little down, when you're feeling a little unfulfilled, a little unsuccessful, like you haven't tapped in to the natural resources. You haven't tapped in to your grit, your agility, your strength. We're going to be doing that. And I'm also announcing today that we're going to be doing, I think we're calling it, let me just see. No, we're not. Maybe that's not the title we're doing anymore. Please stand by. Let me get over here, so I'm giving you the right name. We're going to call it 20-Minute Excellence. Oh, that's right. We changed it. Like I changed the name of the whole thing. We're going to be doing 20-Minute Excellence. If you sign up over at brianbrawdy.com, we're going to send you 30 days in a row. We're going to send you a video that you watch for a couple minutes, just a couple minutes long, and then spend 18 minutes or thereabouts contemplating what that message means to you. We talked before about 20-minute victories. Remember, you're not worth 1/72nd of your day. You divide a 24-hour day into 20-minute chunks, you get 72 of them. 1/72nd of your day to invest in yourself emotionally, mentally, spiritually. We talk about mental self-mastery and how that's going to work. We talk about how to become like a connoisseur of spontaneous improvisation, masters of the unpredictable, right? Because here in the Garden of the Mortals, here in the labyrinth of life, you never can tell. Look, I never thought I would wake up one morning with a brain tumor. I will tell you, when I slid out of that MRI and they said, hey, you got to take this call, my first thought was, who found me here? Who's calling me? And it was the doctor going, you got to come in here right now. I never saw that coming. So we set all these plans. We have all these goals. We set all these different things, all these grand, falutin plans. But fate might have something else hanging out waiting for us. So I've begun to believe, if you know from listening from the show, formerly known as All Natural Being, now Avidly You, that when we confront every moment, in that moment, God leaves a fingerprint. Your destiny leaves clues. And we won't get into the philosophy of it now because I think we're running out of time here. But in the days and weeks ahead, we're going to be talking about just that, how quantum physics, how the latest in psychology and philosophy are all beginning to go, wait, like Eckhart Tolle says, maybe there is a power to now. Why is it? I don't want to be cliche. I don't want to be glib. I don't want to, magnify the moment. It's all in this moment. Well, maybe it really is. So the A-List Minds, the Innovating Intellects, we're going to be studying what it means to be masters of the unpredictable. So that no matter what fate throws at us, we can square our shoulders and go, I said to Sue the other day, if you remember Animal House, mastering our inner Kevin Bacon. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Regardless of what fate throws at us, are we going to let it knock us down? Or are we going to jump back up? And those are the questions that we'll be dealing with. Those are the ideas that we'll be focused on at Avidly You. So that whenever you tune in, whenever you log on, whenever you hit your app, you'll know that the sole focus is reminding you of who you ultimately are. Outside of the blind spots, outside of the amnesia, outside of all of it. That's going to be our new goal. And doesn't this just make you shake your head and go, for how many months, years, did I talk about amnesia? But not real amnesia. I never thought I was going to get amnesia. Oh, maybe you could say, oh, well, maybe intuitively you knew. I didn't have a clue. I'm clueless. But the amnesia I want to focus on now is the amnesia that robs you of the memory of who you ultimately are. Right? Because that's something you don't want to surrender. You don't want to give up. You don't want to give up your confidence and your courage. And that's why I say it's about to make a huge comeback. Why? Because it never went anywhere. You have to get it. Oh, well, please, 1995. Here's a shot of snake oil. Just drink this. Everything will be good. No, it's already in you. What are you looking for? What are you looking for? And that's what we're going to focus on. And because I know what we're going to find when we do that investigation, if you will. Sorry, the ex-cop in me. But what we're going to find when we do that investigation is that you are a master of the unpredictable. That you can thrive in the garden of the mortals. You can thrive in the labyrinth of life. Doesn't matter what fate throws at us. Doesn't matter what illness, what disease, what setback. Doesn't matter about any of it. You get up. Whether you get up in the morning or you get up at night. Put on Facebook the other day. It's one thing to wake up. It's something totally else to come to. And we're going to focus at Avidly You. We're going to focus on what you and I need to do to come to so that we remember, always remember, who we ultimately are. And what a great gig life is. I don't want to give away too much from Bo Arnold's book, but she raises a valid point. If you say, oh, one day I will be successful, you have to admit, you're not all that hot now. But that's not true. Blessed with a human mind, shunt or no shunt, blessed with a human mind and the all-natural resources of grit, agility, and strength. Just so happened to turn out to be gas when I wrote it. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Grit, agility, and strength. We all have that. And that's what we're going to be focusing on at avidlyu.com. It's what we're going to focus on, the impeccably human webinars and when we do this show. All right, before I get out of here, I really need to thank my wife. You thought I was a handful to deal with before all this happened. I need to thank her. I need to thank Ashley. I need to thank my kids. I need to thank my family, my friends, the people. That have stuck with me through this. And I want to let them know that I'm not going to give up, right? I'm not going to surrender. And that I will remain avidly me. So that everyone listening can say the same thing. I remain avidly you. Because you remain avidly me. You can say it to yourself looking in the mirror. So thank you again, Ashley. Thank you again to my family and friends. Thank you again to Sue, for goodness sakes, to Dan, to Dawn, who's her birth. Oh, sorry, maybe I wasn't supposed to out that. Oh, someone I know has a birthday today. And thank you to Dawn. Thank you to David and all the people that are just breaking their backs to make sure that we're able to pull off Avidly You. Okay, next Wednesday, I'll see you. You'll see me. You'll see everybody. We'll all be here. I also want to thank my good friend Bob, who's been with me from the very beginning. Won't get to see him next week, but he'll get to see us. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you all so very much for tuning in and listening. And we'll see you next week. Don't forget, BrianBrawdy.com. Go ahead, sign up for our email. Also, PowerfulLiving.com. The good folks that help us power this show and continue to help us power the show. And also, don't forget, pick up your free ebook at BioPro Plus 500, the number 500.com. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. Remember, there is nothing that will compel me to give in. And I remain avidly you. We'll see you next week.